2.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today for another session of Write It Wednesday. This is Lori from the Glenwood branch, and helping me out in the background today is Victoria, also from the Glenwood branch. Each week, we bring you fun writing prompts, tips, techniques, and resources to help you grow as a creative writer. Do you ever look at the blank page and have absolutely no idea what to write? Do you ever get stuck in the middle of your story? We all have experienced writer's block at some point. Today's tip will give you a tool to help you get the ideas flowing. So this tip comes from the book Brave the Page, a young writer's guide to telling epic stories. It's by Rebecca Stern and Grant Faulkner. The book is published by the National Novel Writing Month nonprofit group. You may have heard of NaNoWriMo, the abbreviation for National Novel Writing Month, which happens each November. Brave the Page is written specifically for young writers, and at the end of this session, I'll provide the Young Writers Project webpage where you can find many tips and techniques from well-known authors geared for writers like you. Today's tip is simple. All you have to do is keep one question in mind. And that question is, what if? Here's an excerpt from Brave the Page. The simple question, what if, is the starting point for every story. A story builds through a series of what ifs because every story has to travel through many narrative forks in the road. To get your story started and to keep it moving forward if you're stuck later, use this exercise. At the top of a clean piece of paper or a document if you're typing, write what if. Now's the time to let your imagination run wild and write down every what if possibility you can think of. The wilder and crazier, the better. Here are some what ifs from a few creative NaNoWriMo Young Writer Program participants. What if emotional scars showed on your skin? What if private thoughts could be read by the public? What if instead of money, you gave memories? This isn't the time to adhere to logic, so kick out any inner editor who happens to be a stickler for the laws of reality. This is the time to experiment. If you already have your cast of characters figured out, try throwing them into your what ifs. For example, what if your protagonist fell into a well and discovered a new world? And don't worry if you write down a lot of what if scenarios that you don't end up using in your story. Each what if is a seed that contributes to your story, whether you use it or not, because the best way to get one great idea is to generate a lot of ideas. Today's writing tool came from the book Brave the Page by Rebecca Stern and Grant Faulkner. This book is published by the NaNoWriMo nonprofit group. Visit the webpage on the screen to find helpful workbooks, inspirational pep talks, and so much more. Also, if you'd like to start our own Howard County Library System online writing group, get an adult's permission and send your name, grade, and email address to askhcls@hclibrary.org. Thanks for watching today's session of Write It Wednesday. We'll see you next week. Take care.